Alrighty, so last weekend we went to Comic-Con Palm Springs on the official business, sort of.
I guess so. We were very fortunate. We met someone who is part of a new organization called Comic
Mark
Convoy.
Silvestri,
Mark
your
Silvestri.
quest guy for Comic Convoy.
Yep, that's the guy. Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to incorporate some cosplayers into his operation, and we met him at Comic Con San Diego in Hall H, naturally. And he invited us to go and work with him along the way. It was really, really fun. So basically, he offered a package that was all inclusive and included travel to and from and a hotel stay and VIP passes to the whole con. It was a great deal. I think it was $900 or something like that. Yeah. Something like that. Don't quote me on that. We're not looking at the thing right now. It was in that area. But anyway, it was an awesome deal. It was a really, really nice hotel. We stayed at a resort out there.
And how Comic Convoy works is that it includes your passes for the con. It includes a shuttle bus, charter bus, whatever you want to call it, from certain points in Southern California to the. So right now it's just California based, but you travel together, and there's also shuttle service to the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
to the convention center. So it also includes your hotel stay and the whole inclusive package deal. This particular one also included a dinner with Stan Lee, which
Mm-hmm.
we'll upload the video to that soon. Yours truly asked a question, of course. And it also included passes to the Linda Carter event, Wonder Woman, 1970s TV Wonder Woman. So she does music and stuff, so it included, basically it included, packages to all of the side events adjacent to the con, I guess.
That's a good way of putting it. The Stan Lee thing was awesome. So it was a dinner. It was a private dinner with maybe 200 people in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and which included a photo op, a autograph, a Q&A, and a very personal and intimate Q&A. And a signed poster from him, which in and of itself is worth it.
Because they ran out.
They ran out. I actually got the last one.
How did you get the last one?
I got the last one in the whole room because she noticed that, this woman who was passing them out was about to run out. I was completely oblivious.
Well, what happened was he was getting us drinks at the bar. I had just come from the restroom, and I'm looking around and seeing all these signed posters. I'm like, wait. Who did I talk to get a poster? And I found the lady who had the posters, and she had two in her hands. I said, well, ma'am, I didn't get one. I was in the bathroom. That very tall gentleman over there, my boyfriend also did not get one as he was getting us drinks. So she gave me one, and she said, well, he has to come get this himself. And then a guy came up right behind me I didn't get one either.
Oh, boy.
And then Brandon was coming over to get the poster, and she's like, I'm sorry, but he was next, so... And that was the last one.
Yeah, I felt really...
Close.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been really upset if I hadn't gotten one of those, even though I didn't even know that they existed at the time. I was very distracted. Yeah, it was really, really cool, and, Stan Lee...
Oh, you show him the poster?
It's over there. We'll post a photo of it. It'll be, on our other channels.
Instagram. We'll put it on Instagram.
We'll put it on Instagram. It was a really cool experience. I mean, Stan Lee is kind of he's one of the most influential people in all pop culture, really. I mean, all these movies that are coming out every year, the Avengers and Black Panther and Iron Man, all that stuff, none of that exists without Stan Lee. And arguably, The Walking Dead wouldn't exist without Stan Lee, because Stan Lee is a hugely important element to the comic book industry, of which The Walking Dead originally was.
He definitely helped make things popular, and the movies spurred that on even more. The integration between, comic book to screen, definitely. And also at the Q&A, and everyone's asking these either dumb questions, questions that have been asked
it's okay.
already,
you can say it, yeah.
or Well, Stan. I mean, some of his responses were like, "Go read a book."
Yeah, it was really funny. This one guy asked like a really dumb question, and like I mean,
a couple of guys.
there was a couple of people that asked dumb questions, and this one guy, I guess Stan Lee, was just getting annoyed because he at one point just goes,
he's a spirited
yeah,
man.
he just responds with like read like to the guy, which oh man, I was like, oh.
One guy's like, "I want to know about the secret wars."
Yeah,
like,
and Stan's like, it's called a secret. It's just,
we're gonna upload footage of that in my question as well.
yeah, she asked a really good question actually. You have to watch the video to find out what her question was. He is 94 years old and he is funny as hell and full of energy. Like didn't walk in with a cane or anything like that.
Good spirits.
Yeah, got up on stage all by himself. Like I hope I'm like that when I'm 95 or 94 because he is just like full of life and energy, and it was a delight to be around him.
Very friendly.
And very friendly. It was delightful to meet him, and just be around him for a while because he's just so important.
I just wish I could actually I would love to have like a real sit down with him. Interviewing is one of the things that I do. So, and he just seems like such a fascinating person. Obviously, he's lived a long life, and there's a lot of stuff that he has not been asked, which was clear to me at that Q&A. He gets a lot of the same stock questions, and it gets repetitive, and it's like a regurgitation of, information. But if I have the opportunity, it'd be a hell of a thing. Not to toot my own horn, but yeah, I'm tooting my own horn because someone has to toot it. So.
The con itself was fun. You know what I actually thought was like really weird, and speaking of tooting our own horns, the number of people who recognized us from The Talking Dead, like
specifically,
really surprised me. I felt like there was just a lot of people there who like knew us specifically, and I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be actually less because it was a smaller con, and but I guess that kind of makes sense because like the more passionate fans usually go to smaller cons.
They were very passionate fans of ours, which was shocking to me.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
People were telling us how we have affected their lives, essentially, and one guy even asked us for an autograph. It was very humbling.
That was crazy. Somebody asked us for an autograph, which I never thought would happen.
I was so paranoid, like, is my signature ugly? Does this look okay?
And then like this one very nice woman, she like told us that she wanted us to do a panel because like she thought that she would like pay to go to our panel and all this stuff, which like I don't know, it's very flattering. I didn't realize that we really had real fans, and apparently we do. It's a nice feeling.
Passionate fans.
Passionate fans.
Obviously, everyone's real.
No, I mean it's just like a weird
hardcore,
it's a weird thing to think about. It's a weird like way of thinking. Well,
you guys know, you'd fan out more over one actor than you would over, say, maybe not your favorite. Like, I'm trying to think of a comparison. Maybe you'd be more excited to see say Norman Reedus versus
Andy.
I was gonna say Andy.
Not you specifically, obviously.
Oh, I meant Norman. No, more excited to see Norman versus, let's say,
Stephen Yeun.
Stephen Yeun. Not that there's anything wrong with Stephen whatsoever, but obviously Norman has some very hardcore fans who would prefer to see Norman over.
And come on, he's so dreamy.
Everyone's dreamy in their own way, but
he's got great shoulders too.
I'm just saying, people know who they fangirl or fanboy hard for, and it was just we never really come across. I mean, we've come across enthusiastic fans, but these fans were very, very. It was humbling. That's all I can really say.
They were touchy-feely.
No, those are not. Okay. So that's a whole other thing. Comic-Con, Palm Springs.
I'll let you tell that story.
Raised my blood pressure several times. I was disrespected left and right. Like, I wasn't even standing there. There's a lot of hoes out there, you guys. It's a lot of hoes. Trying to... you were molested a few times. I saw it once. This walker zombie. We went to the zombie maze, and there was a sign that said, the zombies might touch you, but you can't touch the zombies. Okay, fair enough. But there's a certain way. When you put your hands on somebody, that's not appropriate. And this bitch was like, and at first you thought it was me because it was from behind.
It was really weird. I actually thought it was her, and then like I looked like over, and like she wasn't there, and it was like this zombie. And then I like looked back and saw that Jill was like 4 feet behind me, and I was
appalled.
like, oh. And
then this bitch tried to do it again, but I stood there. And I stared at her. She saw me stand at her, and then she kind of flaked out like, But I know what she wanted to do. And we went to this party.
That was the worst. That was the most egregious.
This chick thought that he was it John Winchester from Supernatural.
Well, she came up to me like as we were coming into the Hard Rock to go to a costume party that we had been invited to, and like we were trying to have dinner, and we weren't like sure what we were going to do. We were like showed up in this whole like group of people that were part of Comic Convoy. So we made quite an entrance apparently, because this woman just like charges through and comes right up to me, and she's like, I just wanted to ask who you are. And I was like, Rick Grimes for The Walking Dead. I thought she was like asking about my cosplay or something. And she was like, oh, you look a lot like John Winchester, who I don't even know who that is. I've never watched Supernatural, so I was just like, okay. And then like I kind of felt like she was getting too close, so I was like, oh, this is my girlfriend Jill.
Well, no, before you asked me who John Winchester was, and I was like, oh, Supernatural.
I was trying to like alert her to like the fact. I was trying to like alert her to the fact that like my girlfriend was right there, and she like.
Well, she was like touching your chest or something.
Yeah, that was like questionable. She was like, she was like, oh yeah, you look just like John Winchester, and you're stunning, by the way. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like, that was when I was like, oh, by the way, my girlfriend's right here, like, trying to just, stop it.
The specific order of events was, she says John Winchester. He looks at me confused, like, John Winchester? And then I look at her and I say, oh, you mean Supernatural? Then this bitch turns her back on me and steps in front of me like I'm not even there. Like, I'm invisible or some shit. Like, I didn't walk in with him. That's what she did. And I swear to God,
it was weird.
I had to talk myself out of snatching out for a wig. I swear I did. I was pissed. I was on 10.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up, because then I was like, oh, this is my girlfriend Jill, because she like wasn't getting it, and then she still ignored like what I just said, and then she's like, oh, so you guys gonna like want to join our party or whatever? I don't even know what she like meant by that, but like it wasn't good, whatever it was. And so I was just like, I'm sorry, like we're going to dinner, and like and we just kind of walked away.
And there were several people, including some of the fans, who kept asking if we were really together.
Yeah, we always get that question. We get it on social media a lot. I don't know what more we could do to like prove it to them.
We shouldn't have to, though.
Yeah.
And that's that's part of the reason why I started. Part of the reason why I was so enthusiastic about Rick and Michonne getting together is because for all the people who thought it was out of left field and could not view Michonne as a love interest, right? She's just this the black chick with a sword, a machine. And I loved that the show did not go in that direction, because honestly, when I first saw Michonne, I thought she was going to be another stereotypical black woman who's just cutting people up. Okay, that's cool and everything, but I need something more than that, and she was more than that.
Is that the stereotype of black women? They're just cutting people up with katanas all over the place?
No, but the stereotype is, the whole love interest thing. That's why so many people, I always thought they were like brother and sister. Like, it never even crossed people's minds that she could be with anyone, let alone the fucking lead of the show. And that's definitely part of the narrative, that we exist with. Like, if I don't know, I think that if I didn't look if I wasn't black, that the whole, are you guys really together? That question wouldn't be so repetitive. Fucking yes, we are together.
Luckily, those are rare compared to how many fans come up to us and love seeing us together and are like, it's Rick and Michonne, and they want to take pictures of us.
It is rare, but it happened a lot that weekend.
It's just strange.
And there was a lot of bitches up on him that weekend. So that particular last weekend,
yeah.
it aggravated me more than usual because it was just like it just kept coming up, and then, like I said, disrespected. Like, I'm standing right here, he's with his woman right here, bitch. Step back.
Yeah, it was that was really egregious. The hard rock
language right now.
The Hard Rock incident was like super rude and egregious. Like, I was like really surprised that she did that. I mean, yeah, that was just like, wow, that's messed up. But anyway, luckily, like I said, most of the people that approach us are great, and they love seeing us. We actually had like that lady who like wanted to take a picture with us, like who
at the Stanley event.
Yeah, who had like lost a child or something.
Oh no, that not the Stanley event. That was. Yeah, she said, our story was like uplifting or something.
Yeah, she was there like for her other kids to enjoy Comic-Con, and I guess she had a really rough year, and she said that we gave her a smile that day or something.
She had just lost her child recently, and
so
that was a very heartbreaking story.
Yeah, and that was just nice that like she even like felt comfortable saying that to us, and that we were able to give her a smile. Like, I felt good about that. So
and Bethany was very positive at the Stanley dinner. What did she say? She was like,
what did she say?
She could see the.
I hope Bethany doesn't watch this.
She could see the
love. I don't know. I don't remember. Was I there for this?
Yeah, you were standing right there.
Was I listening? I don't know what we're talking about. We hung out with this woman named Bethany and her mom a lot that weekend, so I don't remember every single thing that she said.
And she could see, basically, she was like, yeah, y'all together, and I love it.
Oh,
that's the summary. That's not what she said, but that's the sentiment behind what she was saying.
Okay.
See the love there.
Oh, well, good. That's good, too. Anything else memorable that happened in Comic-Con Palm Springs?
It was hot as balls. No, hotter than...
Okay.
It's what I imagine hell would feel like.
Yeah, so, like, this is a fun fact about us. I'm always hot, I'm always overheating and, like, need the air conditioner on. She's always cold. And so, it was 119 degrees in Palm Springs last week. And at one point, we made... I don't know why we did this. This is such a dumb plan. We decided to walk from Starbucks, which was, like, about a mile away, back to the con, and, like... In our cosplay, which, like, I had like my jeans on with like boots and my t-shirt and everything, and like by the end of the walk I felt like the sun had heated up the top of my boots so much that it was like burning the tops of my feet through my boots. It was insane. Like, I've never been in heat like that before. I felt like I was going to pass out.
I had walked earlier before in the day, and when I stopped at the restaurant, I told the waiter, I was like, can I please have a pitcher of water? Yes. And he's like, say what? I said, no, not a cup. Bring me the pitcher. Yeah. Like, because that's how I was so thirsty, and so, like, I was just sweat dripping all over.
Can you just give me an IV? Do you sell IVs here?
No, I wanted to just pour it over my head at that point. It was so terrible.
It was awful.
I got a little bit used to it. It wasn't nearly, he was dying. Obviously, I'm a tropical person. I fared a little bit better, but
I was about my fair Scandinavian skin did not handle that very well. I felt like I just had to hide indoors the entire day.
But what was funny was that one fan who stopped us on the street as we were walking, and he wanted us to pose for a picture, and he's like, no, because we had Starbucks cups of water.
Oh my god, that guy, dude!
Like, no, you have to put those down. They don't have Starbucks in the Walking Dead.
So we're right in the middle of this walk. I'm like literally on the verge of like passing out from heat stroke, and I'm just focused on the hotel. We're like a block away. I'm like, oh, air conditioning is so close. Like, we just got to finish this journey, and this dude stops us who's like not even a Comic-Con person, and he's like, I gotta get a picture with you guys, and I immediately just was like, okay, but you have to do it in the shade, and the only kind of shade was like from this. It was like a light post or something with this like little strip of shade, and I like made him like let us get underneath that, and then he's like, no, you have to put down your cups, and I'm like, this motherfucker, dude, like, I want to take the picture, but you're like causing me to stand out in this heat like longer. Oh man, that's probably the only time I've like not had patience to take a photo with somebody. Like normally I love that shit, but like that I felt like I was gonna die. Like seriously, it was awful. So yeah, that was crazy dealing with that heat. I was like, there's several times during the weekend where I'm just like, this cosplay has some really unintentional negative ramifications. Like,
how does Rick do it?
dude, I don't know. Like, I mean, that leather jacket is hot as balls. And even though it's like air conditioned inside, it's still hot as balls. Like I always have to like either have it like unzipped or like off completely because it's just too much. And then so it makes me think about the fact that Andrew Lincoln has to wear that thing and like in like Georgia where it's like 100 degrees and humid all the time. I mean, he just must be like dehydrated out of his mind most of the time. Like it's got to be so uncomfortable. So yeah, props to him.
And also props to, what was it, Miracle Resort and Spa? Is that what
Miracle
it's called?
Springs.
Miracle Springs Resort and Spa.
Great place. Go stay there. It's awesome.
They have like several pools of like mountain mineral water that they use. So
sick.
that like, and that was it felt different. It was so much better than like chlorine. You know, like. I usually hate public pools, but those are really nice. I wish I had had more time to spend in them, but our Comic-Con schedule kept us so busy. Like, we were doing promo vids and all kinds of crap. So, but I would go there just for the springs. It was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I liked that hotel.
Oh, I like the springs.
Any other notable Comic-Con stories? I feel like that's the most notable ones I can think of.
Yes, I think that's it.
Well, in that case, follow us on YouTube if you like our content, our reviews, and whatnot. And also follow us on @RL Rochon on Instagram and The Living Rochon on Facebook. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.